Hello, welcome to American Bakery in Germany. I'm Michelle, and today we are making a Sleeping Beauty topper for a cake. I am not into super intricate details when it comes to modeling, so this is pretty simple, so let's get started.
I started out by adding some Tylo powder to pink fondant. This is really important because it will stiffen the fondant so it doesn't droop. Fondant by itself won't hold the weight well enough to stand up. I speak from experience. Then I took about a third of the stiffened pink fondant and added more pink food coloring to it. This way we will have two different shades of pink. Now I'm starting with some light pink. Start out by rolling it into a cone. Cut the bottom flat to be the right height, and cut a V shape about hip height. Then, with some dark pink, roll a sausage with the smaller part in the middle to be the waist. Pinch or cut one end to be the V that fits just into the V cut in the skirt. Trim the top the height that you want, pressing the body to be more flat and less round at the top, and trim it to have a slightly V neck as well. Then I rolled a small piece of light pink fondant and cut out a zigzagging strip. Then place it around Princess Aurora's hips, right where the two colors meet. Then, with a piece of flesh-colored fondant, I pinched a neck into it and placed it on the shoulders of the dress. Then I placed a toothpick into it to add stability. Then I rolled a snake of light pink and glued them onto the shoulders to be her arms. I also glued them onto the stomach so it looks like she's clasping her hands in front of her. Then I pressed small balls of flesh-colored fondant and cut them into mitten shapes. I glued them onto the ends of her arms. Then I rolled out some white fondant and cut it into thin strips. I cut a thinner spot in the middle of the strips and laid them over the shoulders and the front of the dress as well as the back. This is the sash around her shoulders. Now let's work on her head. I'm specifically making a simplified version of the head. I rolled a ball of flesh-colored fondant and pressed it onto the toothpick to put a hole in it. Then I rolled out some yellow fondant and cut it into a curve with a flat edge. I glued it onto the back of Aurora's head, and I textured the edge of the hair a bit. Aurora has quite the volume of hair on the top of her head, so I rolled a cone to mimic this movement. I textured it and glued it onto the top of her head. I made several other tapered snakes to fill in the sides of the hair. I also added several more locks of hair to give it more movement. I also used some black and red food coloring to paint on a very simple face. Eyes wide set apart and a mouth in the middle. I also used some edible gold paint to paint on her pointed necklace. And finally, I rolled out some white fondant and cut it into the shape of her crown. And painted it gold. I think she turned out cute. For more tutorials, visit our website at AmericanBakerInGermany.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe for more tutorials.